Well, thank you. Joining me now is South Carolina Democratic Congressman Jim Clyburn. He's, of course, the #3 Democrat in the House, chairman of the Select Subcommittee on the Coronavirus Crisis. And Congressman, that's where I want to begin. And right now, you are doing some oversight. You are leading the oversight on what's happening with government funds and things like this. But you're also discovering a lot of troubling things. We've got, and that's what came out of your committee, this herd immunity attempt email. We've also got what we've learned from those CDC staffers who spoke with the New York Times. Do you believe we need a 9/11 style commission, the Iraq study group, Warren Committee, you name it, right? Great crises in America have gotten us important commissions to make sure we don't make the same mistakes again. Do we need this?
We may, and I think that that's something the new administration may need to take a look at. My committee, however, is to provide oversight. When Congress makes the expenditures, as they've done here, my select committee is to take a hard look at how the money is being spent to make sure that it's being done efficiently, effectively, and equitably. And that's what we're doing. And it was in the course of carrying out these responsibilities is when we saw these or heard the testimonies and now seen some documents that indicate that what the White House was saying was totally different from what was going on. And we have found that to be the case in other instances as well. They were sending information out to state governments saying one thing, while at the national level, they were saying just the opposite. Now, that's the way this administration has operated. And so what we're doing in the Select Committee is having the public take a look-see at what this administration is doing, and hopefully we'll do what we can to correct it.
Given what you're learning already, does it make you feel as if, well, look at what I'm learning, what we're learning just on focusing on how they're handling congressionally allocated money? Does this tell you there's a lot more that you think we don't know?
Well, that's what I think. And that's why we want to have these documents. And they have not been sharing the documents with us. They finally unloaded a lot of stuff to us. A lot of it we asked for, but they gave us a lot of stuff we did not ask for. And they did not give us some things that we asked for. And so we are going to pursue our duties and responsibilities, and maybe we'll find out some things that we just have a gut feeling may be there. But I do not want to get out in front of the facts.
Right. So you've been getting a lot of this information lately. How much of this has been almost all post-election? Do you feel as if suddenly post-election you're getting more cooperation?
I think so. It's certainly, whether or not that was the intent, that's exactly what has happened. We've gotten this information since the election, though much of it we were asking for prior to.
How much of the information you're getting stonewalled on, Bao, do you think you'll have to wait until January 20th to get? Or are you concerned you got to issue subpoenas now because are you concerned that documents might disappear?
Well, I would hope that documents would not disappear because that would take us into another kind of investigation that goes beyond the scope of the committee. We have not made the decision. Finally, my staff is plowing through these documents now. They're trying to determine whether or not they are sufficient. If they are sufficient, then we will say so. And if they aren't, we will say so, and it may lead to a subpoena.
The most troubling aspect about what we learned from the New York Times and these CDC staffers is that everything that looked like was happening indeed was happening, right? Which is there was, and let me pull one excerpt here. The White House insisted on reviewing and often softening the CDC's closely guarded coronavirus guidance documents, the most prominent public expression of its latest research and scientific consensus on the spread of the virus. The documents were vetted not only by the White House's coronavirus task force, but by what felt to the agency's employees like an endless loop of political appointees across Washington. We know the CDC ended up getting politicized in some way, either in how their stuff was handled or how they were micromanaged. How do you restore the CDC's good name?
That's going to be tough. Really going to be tough. When it comes to people's health, they do not want that to be played with politically. And that's what's going on here. Decisions are being made outside of the scientific world by people with no expertise, some of them not even with the slight credentials. We have a career scientist telling us that she was ordered to delete certain things in a memorandum. These kinds of things we are very serious about. We have, what's his name, Paul Alexander, calling for herd immunity when the White House was saying it was not taking place. We want them infected. Look, these people must not have children or relatives or even friends or acquaintances. Why would you want to just infect people when you can take steps like masking, social distancing, and not having super spreading events and prevent the stuff from happening? It seems almost as if they were trying to infect everybody that came around them and creating these super spreaders. This is the kind of mentality that has been taking place in the White House for some time now, and the American people finally wised up on November the 3rd, and I hope they will continue to stay focused on this.
Very quickly, the defense bill veto that the president is promising, how quickly will there be an attempt to override that veto in the House, sir?
Well, we would attempt to do so right away in the House. Now, I say attempt to do so because a lot of people who voted for this bill now are saying that they may vote to sustain a presidential veto. It's sort of surprising to me that these people want to defund the Department of Defense. And that's effectively what they'll be doing here, is defunding the Defense Department.
Yeah. It's an interesting phrase you picked there, Congressman, and I think it was done on purpose. I see what you're doing there. We shall see what happens. Congressman Clyburn, sir, thank you for coming on and sharing your perspective with us.
Thank you. I thought you would get that.